Mirror, mirror, fogged and loud, what truth today makes the future proud? Ooh, fired up today, Wampus Cats, because let me get that. Let me get that. I'm supposed to rub while I say the phrase, but ADHD brains don't always stick to the script that you place in your head, right? It's as good as it gets today. So, today, I'm going to have to work on my voice care because I am getting like raw throat every day because I'm doing a lot of videos, a lot of audio, a lot of content. And yeah, it's getting to my throat. So, apologies for this raspier voice today, but it's fitting because we're going to howl at the moon tonight, y'all. It is the first full moon, and I saw conflicting things. I saw the second and I saw the third, but you know how that works where it's like the night of. But then apparently today is the full moon. I feel like the full moon was on the first because I was playing disc golf and the moon came out super duper early. It was full as heck. It was huge as heck. It was gorgeous. So I'm a little confused as well, based on my what I've seen with my own eyeballs. But regardless, if the moon was first, second, or third for you, depending on where you are, depending on what timeline you're in, depending on what galaxy you're in, we're gonna go with the fact that it's tonight because it's a Saturday night, and we're gonna have a wolf moon fire, and we're gonna howl at the moon. So if you want yourself in 9 years to be in a, some of you probably want your life to be completely different. And we're going to say 180 because 360 feels like it would just be right in the same spot, even though 360 is the full, you'd see it all. Maybe 360 is the way to think of it because you want to see it all. And then it doesn't mean you come back to the same spot. It just means you choose differently or the same, right? But you choose, you don't let it just happen. So, if you want a wildly different life in 9 years, and even if you're pretty happy with how things are in your life right now, and you are more thinking you just want to keep, I mean, not status quo, but you want to kind of keep growing steadily, but you just want to keep strengthening what you have and growing deeper roots with what you already have, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. We need you've got the elder wisdom and the crone wisdom already that we need. If you're feeling really satisfied where you are right now, please reach out. The Wampus verse needs your gifts and your steadiness. So I would love to hear from people who feel like, hey, I'm pretty freaking happy and satisfied with where I am. And I'm going to use these next 9 years to just deepen and strengthen. And of course, guess what? The secret is they're going to change too. Even people satisfied are going to, you can't not change. You can change. So, yeah. I a theory I'm already going ahead and implementing every day, I hope. And so far I think I've done it. I didn't even think about it till just now, but I'm putting it into words. So, should have had a beverage with me today, but we're going to just push through. January 1st, which really started on December 31st, but let's just call it a bridge. I pulled my first tarot. I can even say more clearly on the 1st, I finished my first solo reading and my first reading ever. I've never had a reading besides just like one card pulled, one tarot card pulled at like an event for fun, but like a true sit down reading. So that happened on the 1st. Is today the 3rd? Oh gosh. I'm so blind now. Yeah. Goodness. Is that right, you guys? Okay. Yeah, that's right. Woo. Okay. And then today I'm going to howl at the moon. Now, I've probably howled at the moon. I know I have. Ow! I was going to start with a howl, you guys. I'm so excited about this episode that I am literally all over the place. I also just like basically just woke up and rolled out and just jumped on this video. So, probably not the best way to wake up the old noggin, but yeah. So, today is going to be howling at the wolf moon, the first full moon of the year, supposedly, but regardless, the energy's there. And if you know the Wampus verse, obvi, there's a whole wolf lore. Wampus Cat is not a wolf, but there's probably some wolf lineage in there, wolf energy for sure. Um, yeah, there's some wolfiness around here. My two dogs, they're blackmouth curs. They don't look anything like wolves, but do they embody the wolf spirit? I mean, heck yeah, they do. Heck yeah, they do. And their names are Lokwa and Wea, which are Native American words for wolf. Now, before the purists jump all over me, Wea is actually supposed to be Waya. But when I saw it, I said it wrong, but I liked it. And I like the twist. So it's ours and not just, straight from the lore. And language is something to play with. Words can be invented. Hashtags crack me up still because you can say so much silliness crammed together. I love hashtags still. I'm obsessed. Really, I'm obsessed in speaking in them and writing in them, not so much reading them. I don't consume a lot of social media right now. I mean, I output because that's the world we live in, but I don't consume a ton. So yeah, I'm kind of clueless on like trending hashtags and all that fun stuff. But regardless, I love reading them and they crack me up. And I feel like there's so much comedy when you like smush words together and like you try to say something like in a succinct way. I don't know. Anyway, Tangentville, welcome. It's part of Wampus verse. We're gonna have to name the villages. Tangentville is where the speakeasy would be, and you would just chat and chat and chat for 6 to 8 hours, right? So doing small things every day that your future self would be proud of, but also that your future self would just like naturally do. So it's got to be kind of like you're mixing it up. I think mixing it up every day. So yesterday, how did I mix it up? What did I do yesterday? Yikesy. I mean, I guess I just did a ton of outreach and yeah, I did content and outreach and I don't know if did I do anything different? Did I do anything different? Conscious. I mean, I just set this intention now, so I can't beat myself up too much. Did I do anything new or bold or different yesterday? Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I got my first edition of the copy, printed version, soft cover, whatever, of the memoir. They've always called us crazy. So that's surely a new thing. I've never received that book in the mail. I've never opened it. I've never went through it. Yeah, no wonder yesterday's a blur because I got the book and you guys, the inside is magnifique. Like the page breaks. The pictures look so good because I put some actual pictures of photographs, like scrapbook style. The spacing, the headers, the different fonts choices, like it looks so good inside. I'm like, it looks incredible. Now, covers are always a little more difficult, and I was getting really frustrated when I was ordering it, and I was like, this is going to be good enough. I know it is. Well, it wasn't. The front cover, the top words are cut off a little, and there's a little bit of white. And then on the back cover, there's words cut off, and it's like too big. It needs to be shrunk. So I know it's an easy fix for both. I'm actually going to put a border. I think that's going to solve it. It might look a little funky, but I think the discoloration or the like little slight um, border vibe is preferable to what happened, which is words cutting off. So I'm gonna tweak it. But it's not even for sale right now as a paperback because I knew I needed to review this, mock copy, or I think they call it gallery copy. I don't know, you guys. But yeah, um, I'm gonna give myself plenty of kudos for that to receive that for the first time ever in this timeline. So highly encourage that all you Wampus cats howl at the moon tonight. It can be a baby howl, you guys. It can be in your bathroom, or you're taking a bath, or you're just getting ready to brush your teeth. You can be like, ow, right? Now, ideally, you're looking straight at the big, gorgeous moon. Ideally, you're looking at it unobstructed, and that means for me, no branches, no windows. I'm outside. It's me and the moon. Now, that's not always possible for some people. You might have to walk up the middle of your street. It depends on your situation. But yeah, if you can howl at the moon, and you can howl at the moon at 5:30. As soon as it gets dark, you can, as soon as you can see it. You don't have to wait till midnight or nothing. You're just, oh, I'm telling you, it feels so good. I don't know why. It's probably, I mean, it's ancient. It's in us. I was reading a story yesterday about women's connection to wolves, and there's theories about wolves teaching women the pack mentality, and caring for the weak and the elderly, and this like very nurturing uh, familial philosophy. So what if a lot of what we've learned, and a lot of what we crave, and a lot of what we're missing now in society is the wolf pack mentality? And that's where the rematriation village comes in. I'm sure a lot of you, like me, are sick of trying to have any kind of loyalty to your country, your state, even your city, right? Because the values don't align, the vision doesn't align, the ideas for the future don't align. So that's a problem. And it's not that you're trying to live in these like homogenous, everybody thinks exactly the same things. It's values. It's values. Like, I don't like going to campgrounds where everyone's just in their giant RVs with their TVs blaring at 6 p.m., as soon as it gets dark, and there's just blue screens everywhere. And it's like a lot of those long-term campgrounds, that's how it is. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go to the more natural campgrounds, the more primitive, or at least the ones that are surrounded by nature and views, and typically not the long timers and the super fancy RVs. More like, if they don't allow tent camping, I immediately know that it's not a place for me. So you figure out where you want to be. Some people love the city, some people love the country, some people love lakes, some people love the beach, right? It's just preference. But that's so much about the amenities and the landscape and the like, what is there. We're talking soul aligned. The Wampus verse and the rematriation villages are about being soul aligned. And there are already communities out there doing this, and I'm sure that we will be partnering or collaborating or just merging or whatever happens. This is not saying that this doesn't already exist. It's just saying, as a philosophy, even in cities, we need this philosophy more, this village mentality. Everybody in the neighborhood, one, ideally should know each other. I'm not saying that's easy, but ideally, there's neighborhood events that you meet each other. And that's why there's city parks with grills outside. That's why there are community spaces. When you eliminate community spaces, which, if you've noticed, in any rich community, I used to work in high end audio video, and any rich community doesn't have community spaces except maybe, they might have a clubhouse. They might have like a fancy little clubhouse, and that's, you know, kudos. That's a good community spot, not the kind of community spot I want to be at. But some of these places don't have even that. Or they might just have a room that, like, occasionally there's, some kind of presentation. Like, it's not this, like, real community vibe. Um, anyway, we could go down that path. I don't even want to go down that path. But the Matriarch Village, not only as a real place, but also as a philosophy where the village takes care of each other. Think about the shared resources, pickups and drop offs, cooking. I make big pots of soup as a single woman all the time, and I have leftovers. Now, I freeze them, but sometimes the freezing is weird. It's like it doesn't unthaw right, and maybe it's the bags I eat, whatever. I would rather, if I have some leftover soup, if I make a big old batch of soup, go share a couple cans or jars, I guess you could say, with neighbors and exchange for maybe they've cooked up a huge, smoked a pig that day and then they're going to give me a little meat, and we're not talking about bartering. We're not talking about anybody owing each other. It's much more of sharing the burden, not adding debt to anybody. And I don't mean financial, just like you owing someone. It is much more about giving and receiving, giving and receiving. I want to start making bread again. Well, guess what? I probably could make a couple loaves in a day, and then I could share. I don't need all that, but I could do it because I'm in the mode, right? All this equipment's out, all the ingredients are out. So it's the shared growth of the and wellness of the neighborhood. We've been brainwashed to be so individualistic and rugged individualism and pull yourselves up by your bootstraps. And we're missing the wolf pack. I've had this hat for 7 years. I got it at a festival. I believe I got it at Soulshine in Green Mountain, but, uh, you know, it's great for a festival. Your hands stay warm. It's cute as a button. It's really cozy and it's fun to dance with. It's just, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And then when all this Wampus first came out and the Wampus Cat ideas, it was like, of course, because it's a wolf hat. But guess what? You don't know that for sure. So it's a wolf hat, Wampus Cat. It's a mixture, and it makes me super happy. So, um, Howl at the Moon. Ow! It can be silly, it can be guttural, it can be real, it can be in the middle of the forest, it can be over a candle. It doesn't have to be over a fire, and just you and the moon talking for just a second. Or talking might sound a little much. Just recognition, man. The moon is gorgeous. You're gorgeous. Like this energy, this light, and it's really grounding to know that everyone's looking at the moon, or at least as far as I know, everyone's looking at the same moon. Everyone's looking at the same sun, right? And so, like, that is super grounding to me. And that's probably from Fievel, man. I mean, I remember that. So, I can't remember it right now, but that song, like, they're looking at the moon, and, it's like the same moon I'm looking at, the same moon you're looking at. And it's like, if that doesn't connect people, I don't know what does. Why are we fighting? Why are there wars? Look up. Same star, same moon, same sun, same planet, same solar system, same flying ball. Have you seen the new theory? We're basically a flying comet of heat and fire. Think about 3-1 Atlas or a comet. I don't care. But we're a hot ring of fire, and then the 9 planets are inside of that. So we're just a hot ring of fire barreling towards probably a black hole. The patriarchy hates when I talk truth. JK. I'm sure that was a random occurrence. So we're a hot ball of fire, ring of fire, anything that tries to cross or enter, like, there are things that can, obviously, rock. There have been rocks that cross the barrier. And this is, I guess, not proven, but in my heart, I'm like, what's the Bill Maher thing he says? I don't know for sure, but I know it's true. It makes a lot of sense to me that we're a hot ball of fire. The 9 planets are inside that, and we're drawn to the sun, and we're spinning around the sun like this, like swirling around the sun. And we're all like a bullet. We're a freaking bullet train going so fast toward a black hole, possibly, or something else, but makes a lot of sense that it's a black hole sucking us in. And that doesn't mean that the black hole is the end. Maybe that's what happens with every collapse of civilization. Maybe when we hear the word new world, that's why, because we suck through the black hole every 12,000 or 22,000 or who cares, some increment of time, we get sucked through the black hole, and then on the other side we get spit out, and maybe we're sort of kind of starting over, but it doesn't have to necessarily mean extinction. Maybe it means some people are still here, like more of the flood concept. Not everyone died in the flood. Maybe not everyone gets wiped by the black hole suck throughness. So yeah, you can see that I'm working out some of these things I'm learning and trying to understand. Not that I do understand. I don't think anybody can confidently say they understand, because there's so much we don't know. We don't know 85% of the ocean, some people theorize. So if we don't even know our own ocean that's on our own planet with us, we don't know more than 80% of the brain functionality and obviously consciousness. We have no clue, really. So there's just so much unknown on our own planet. You think that we've got the universe figured out? You think we've got the Milky Way figured out? No, my friends. So, bringing it back all the way around back to Howl at the freaking moon tonight, because we are flying through space on a rock. And I want your next 9 years to be incredible. My last 9 years were pretty bad. And I know a lot of people's were high stress, high anxiety, high frustration, high rage. We feel like we've been lied to our whole lives about the American dream. I mean, I don't even feel like they talk about the American dream anymore, because they want the new American dream to become a billionaire. I would never be a billionaire. I would never hope for it. I would never wish for it. And I think there's a ton of women who feel the same way as I do. They would never even dream of trying to become a billionaire or wanting to become a billionaire. Wouldn't even dream of it, my friends. So that tells you a lot about where we are as a society. And pretty much the number one problem in our society is patriarchy. And the patriarchy is what allows billionaires to exist. So you probably thought I was going to say billionaires are the number one problem. No. The patriarchy is the number one problem, because the philosophy, the structure of the patriarchy allows for billionaires. So instead of all of us having all these different enemies, we have one enemy, the patriarchy. The patriarchy allows greed to flourish. The patriarchy allows war. The patriarchy allows murder. The patriarchy allows rape. The patriarchy allows hate. Because it's baked in to the philosophy. It's a philosophy. It's a way of doing things. It's a choice. The patriarchy is a choice that elites keep making. We are done making that choice. We choose rematriation. We choose 2034. We choose 999. Nothing but love, do you? You want to do the patriarchy? Enjoy. Enjoy the patriarchy. We're over here building the rematriation rebellion. All right, Wampus Cats. Remember to howl at the moon today. Ow! And the future can always wish until morning. So you don't have to do everything today. Look, it's the weekend. Don't try to get caught up. You've just survived the holidays. Do absolutely nothing if that's what you want to do. I had a lot really peaceful, quiet holiday season. So I'm raring to go. So you can sit back. You don't have to jump into anything. I'm ready to jump in because I have hibernated. But you, Wampus Cats, you can relax. If it can wait, it can wait. So let the future wish until morning.